Hello. So let's, the plane. And the plane comes. So let's share this. I'm in a group. Right. Okay. And then we're going to share it to Twitter. And I think that will be it. Okay. Well, let's go to live chat. Okay. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay. Hello, everyone. And there's nobody here yet, but that's okay. People will start coming. Let me share it one more place. In a group. All right. Okay. And I am live. And I guess I should share it to regular Facebook. Okay. All right. Still nobody here yet. But that's okay. Now I'm going to have to do some kind of adjusting or something. If I'm looking like weird, it's because where my webcam is at. I'm sorry for the plane, y'all. I'm going to just look at the live chat because I'm mostly in focus here. I have been cleaning my area. I've been trying to get things done for the ring light, which is right here. So I have a lot going on, and I'm going to move my coffee, my reading glasses, so I can put the keyboard closer to me. I've got to wait for David to do a little bit of stuff for me to help me with some stuff because the craft table is super heavy and it takes 2 people to move. So until I get the craft table moved, I'm kind of stuck with this weird angle thing. So hopefully things will get a little bit better. There's a mess in my room. My cart is back there. I have a lot of stuff going on. I need to catch up on some things, and I've got a lot going on. So, comment on my post. Okay, peoples. All right. Let's go here because I don't know. I am live. Okay. I have somebody here. Hello. All right. So, and the planes. I live not far from the Air Force Base, y'all. So, and I guess somebody left. But I live not too far from the Air Force Base. So the planes do their practicing and things. So I'm really excited though. I am almost ready to start doing live videos. I have almost everything set up. Right now I'm at this, I could do them, but I'm at this really weird angle. And I'm trying to get some things set up in OBS where it looks like it's supposed to look. It's too close in right now. And my monitor is in this weird angle because it's not where I sit at my desk. It's over to the side. So that's an issue. And so I'm dealing with some of that until we can kind of finagle. I need to move this small table up, and that way I can just kind of roll either place, and I can do my admin work and stuff, or I can roll the chair over a little bit and I'll be able to do live videos. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right. Where are the people? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to talk like I would in a normal coffee chat. And I hear the planes again. So I have been a bit behind with everything because I was really sick. I had a sinus infection, bronchitis, and pneumonia. And then right after that, I had to do some family stuff, which meant traveling quite a bit. And that wore me out, completely wore me out. I did a video. I have February's video for the plan with me. I'm going to finish doing the editing and I'm going to go ahead and put it up, even though it's going to be late, but I'd rather go ahead and have it up so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing for February. As soon as I get some more of this stuff in here cleaned up, once David helps me with some of this stuff, I'm going to do a little bit of a room tour, but we have the metal part, all the metal pieces to make my bookcases that will be behind me. It will go from the wall to the wall, I think. I may end up moving the craft table and putting my desk elsewhere. We haven't decided, but I'm going to be moving some things. I'm going to have to clean out the closet again, which is fine because I really need to KonMari it again. I did some decluttering. I didn't actually KonMari the closet, so I shouldn't say again. KonMari, when you do when you have ADHD, you have to do it in bits. There's no such thing as piling every single thing you own, like with clothes, all on the bed, because you're going to get distracted or you're going to get bored. And then what's going to happen is all those clothes are going to be in your bed. And then before you sleep in your bed, you're going to pile all those clothes in a basket or on the floor or in a chair until you can get to it. But then you're going to do a little bit of it and then you'll get distracted again if you try to do all of it at one time. So what I've been doing is doing things in bits. So I have quite a bit left to do, but I'm doing it bit by bit. So it kind of seems like I'm not doing as much, but that's because I'm doing it in sections. And I couldn't do a whole lot of it while I was really sick. Some things I could do, but not other things. So while I was sick, I was reading a lot. I was reading a whole lot. I read quite a few books. And now that I'm feeling better, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have as much time to read now. But I just posted something on Facebook that says, you have permission to rest. You are not responsible for fixing everything that is broken. You do not have to try and make everyone happy. For now, take time for you. It's time to replenish. And that is so true. I had to take time. Had to take time for getting well. I had to. And it was hard for me to take that time. And I realized that as long as I've been on YouTube, there have been times when I've taken a break from YouTube. But when I've been on Patreon, even after my dad died, and when my mom was in the hospital, I was still trying to do things. So I haven't had this is the first time the whole time pretty much where I haven't really been posting. Like I usually post more than what I have in the description. And it's made me feel guilty. I had felt really bad about that. But I had to take some time. And now I'm ready to get back into things. And I've been doing things in my journal, like a different way. Accept and enjoy the compliments you receive and voice your sincere appreciation of others. Don't define yourself by your feelings. You are not your feelings. You merely have them. And I did some journaling, and then I did some collage over my journaling, which is not something I do a lot of, but I've been doing some experimenting, doing all different kinds of things. I've actually been really busy in the journal, but where I've been the busiest is in my Hobonichi. Hey, a long time no see. Yes. So I am full on back in the Hobonichi. And the reason is that while I was sick, I had to really sit down and go over my priorities. What are my priorities? And I was spread too thin. Seriously, spread too thin. So I was sick since the day after Christmas. Hello, hello. So here is where you kind of see, I started doing little bits, little tiny bits, because I was really sick. So I'm doing planning. I'm still trying to make videos, still trying to do things. That day was a bust. I have some pictures to add and just haven't done them yet. Started doing, like, I'm still planning. I had a tip in, I did a tiny bit. And here's where, like, I went to the doctor using the Hobonichi. I'm like just right back in. So here we go. And this is where it really starts to get, where I get back to my comfort zone with the Hobonichi. Doing some of the things, the same old, like some of the things that I used to do in the Hobonichi. And some days I felt more like doing art, and other days I didn't. And then I realized I was really, like, I'm in my comfort zone, okay, with it. And I'm thinking, huh? So we had company the whole weekend. I was recovering from being sick. I napped. I have some pictures of Victor, and I'm probably just going to put some collage over it. You regretted selling, so you went and bought another. So then I started back to planning. I actually got, like, I was feeling better. I got off of the antibiotic finally. I'm finally starting to feel better. I started doing some planning. It didn't happen. And I wrote over here, after 2 days of this is no longer my normal. So we get to this. So I went back to, like, a little bit of the comfort zone. I'm trying to get out of it, though. Trying. And then the other day, this is February's goals. I haven't finished it. So on this day, I have a picture of Victor to print and put right here. And it says picture of Victor. And I got out of my comfort zone. I've been really loving this right here. Really loving it. And the hair stuff, it's Shea Moisture. And I use the coconut and hibiscus, the curl stuff, the stuff for curly hair. And I'm loving it. Thank you. And I'm loving it. So I went to my mom's, and I was at my mom's pretty much Saturday and Sunday. I got back Sunday, and I got back and I ate, and then I went to sleep, and I must have slept 12 hours. I went to sleep yesterday afternoon. I woke up, I ate something, I took a shower, I laid back down, went back to sleep. So I know I slept at least 12 hours or more. I got up this morning at about 7. It's probably about 10 till 7. I took a shower. I made coffee. I did my stretches. I cleaned up some of the room in here. I talked to my brother. I went to the eye doctor, got a contact lens changed out because I was having trouble seeing up close with the new contacts. So he switched things out. So we're going to give it another week or so, make sure that these contacts are working okay before I order them from online from 1-800-CONTACTS, because the doctor, they I can get them much cheaper online. But while I was there, I ordered my glasses. at the eye doctor. And I know I can get my eyeglasses cheaper online, but I have 2200 vision and I wear progressive bifocals. And although I have chubby cheeks and like this, this part right here is really small. So I wear either children's large glasses like youth, like middle school, high school age, or I wear adult smalls. And they're really hard to get. Like, and with progressive bifocals, you have top, mid, and then bottom range. And they have to measure your pupil things. And the eye doctor will give me my prescription, but they won't give me my measurements. And without my measurements, ordering glasses online are going to be really difficult, really difficult. They won't really fit right. So I would rather spend a little bit of extra money getting glasses that I love. And I happened to find a pair, and they were less expensive than most of the other ones that I found, but they have the little magnets. So it has the clip-on sunglasses, so I won't have to worry about transition lenses. Because I don't know if y'all have noticed, but when I'm in here with my old glasses that I broke, they weren't clear because the sun comes through that window. And I now have the curtain blocking it so that you don't see the shadows when cars pass by. But I can go walk outside and clip them on or take them off when I do. I want to start doing outside coffee chats a little bit more where I film them and then I put them up. And I want to do some walk and chat some more. I'm going to do some of those, a little bit of vlog style stuff on Patreon and a little bit here. There'll be longer stuff on Patreon. I've actually got some footage that I need to put together for Patreon now from about, it's a couple of different things. So it's kind of evolved since January. But I'm really excited because like this, I did the little map and I'm going to do some drawing and some watercoloring. And I'm probably going to put a picture up too, because I took a picture of my parents' place where I want to put a cabin eventually. So I have a picture and I want to do a little bit of drawing. And I'm going to do some collage. This is from a map in Charleston. It's not where my mom lives, but it'll work for what I want to do, you know. So I'm really excited. And I didn't do anything for Sunday. Sunday was Super Bowl. I slept through Super Bowl. My husband went to his family's, went to his mom and dad's and did Super Bowl, and he came home, and I woke up when he came home because he took the blanket and went to cover me, cut the heater on a little bit higher, and I'm like, what? So then I was awake with him, and we had a snack, and then I brushed my teeth, washed my face again, and went right back to sleep. So yeah, I think I woke up twice. So I might have slept for 14 hours, y'all. I'm serious. I might have slept for 14 hours. I was utterly exhausted. But I'm feeling more human now. I'm feeling a lot better. I still have some congestion, but that could be allergies. So I'm going to get back on my allergy medicine, and I'm back to, as soon as I can get this a little bit better organized so that I can easily do the live video. But like I said, the craft table weighs so much. I've got to get David to help me move it. I can't, even if I took a bunch of stuff off. And I still got some stuff to take off. But even if I took everything off, I'd have trouble moving it. It took me and him and one other person when we moved it into the house. But just to move it like 6 or 7 inches, he and I can move it. So I'm excited though, because I think I've finally got everything together so I can start doing live like journal with me's. For y'all, for Patreon, and I'm really excited. I'm behind with everything. I really want to do a new outlining video series on the other channel because April's Camp NaNoWriMo is not that far away. I'm going to do some regular outlining here because I have my book. Where's my book? Here's my book. And there went something else. I have Save the Cat Writes a Novel and my composition book, and I'm going to start doing the regular part of the outlining, and then the creative bits with the tarot stuff will be on the other channel, but the regular outlining will be here. I'm really excited. I haven't read this book. I read like the introduction. I have the other Save the Cat regular book, so I'm excited to delve into this. I've been doing a lot of reading fiction lately. Okay, so does anybody have any questions while I'm on? Because for the first like 10 minutes of this, I was just talking to myself because nobody was here. So thank you. I love being creative. I love doing all different kinds of things. I have my embroidery thread. I have been going through stuff little by little and finding buttons and little pieces of sequins and things like that because I'm going to start being really creative in this journal. I am going to start adding bits of sewing. I'm going to sew in some pockets. I'm going to, look at this. Look at what I did for February. This is going to be all of the bits that I saved during the month of February or that I want to add into my journal. Now it says bits right here. And so I'm really excited about that part too. I added a tip-in. I am not the best with tip-ins. I'm not. This is how my depth year is going. I replaced a pair of pants because I had 2 pair of pants go bye-bye. One pair ripped at the pocket. Someone's been watching Romany. I am. Romany asked if we would want to do, and I said I want to do all the things. Rogiver. I replaced 1 pair of pants, although 2 went bye-bye. I did switch to dip nail polish, and I have ink in my fingers, y'all, because my nails don't grow by themselves, but these are actually my nails with dip polish. You can tell because some of them are really short. I reread the All Souls trilogy by Deborah Harkness, and I watched the first season on Sundance on Amazon Prime. I got a free 7-day trial subscription and watched it while I was sick. I binge watched. I bought a new Brita water pitcher filter, a new Brita water pitcher, because our old one went kaput. It broke. And so I've been doing really good. Really good. But now, mind you, I just spent like almost $800 in eye visit, contact exam, and glasses. So I know for those of you who order your glasses online, but if you have single vision, it's much easier. And since my prescription is 2200, since my eyes are 20/200, my vision is really bad. And this part of my face is really small. And I read some of the reviews and people had really good things to say about it. But I started reading for people who have bifocals, and it made me really nervous about ordering the bifocals online. So, but I'm excited. I did sell my shed to my brother, so he's going to be making payments. So I'm going to save up some of the money that he sends me. And when I get enough money, I'm going to talk to Ro, and I'm going to talk to my nephew and a couple of people I know that are into the Mac stuff. And I'm going to see if I can find me a refurbished or used MacBook Pro, because that will make it a lot easier to do live videos and to be more mobile, because David is thinking about switching jobs sometime this year. Hope you're well. Just so you know, your content is very good for dealing with anxiety. Thank you. Well, I have anxiety, and I have depression, and I have ADHD. So thank you so much. That makes me feel so much better. I'm so glad. One of the things I want to talk about, like I talked about for a few moments, having ADHD and trying the KonMari method. I've broken things up to bits. When I did my clothes in the dresser, that I took all of the clothes, put them in a big laundry basket, and took it into the living room and dumped it all over the living room floor. I got that done, and then I went to the clothes in the closet. Now I need to do my shoes and my purses, and I'm doing bits in this room. I'm doing sections in this room, because there's no way with ADHD that me doing the KonMari method, like I said, I can't pull everything I own out and put it in one. I have to do it in sections, because the thought of everything I own being done like that just makes my anxiety go sky high, because I'll get bored, I'll get distracted, other things will happen, and then all my stuff will be piled somewhere. Thank you. Thank you. So one of the other things that I think I'm doing, I'm going to do the series. Lavender did a really great series called um, Helps You a Lot. And now doing the dishes and sweeping and mopping and vacuuming and stuff like that helps my anxiety. But piling a bunch of stuff wouldn't. I would have a heck of a time. Because I have a hard enough time with follow through when it's just a regular project. But if I pile too much stuff on myself at one time, I know what will happen. The phone will ring, or I'll get a notification, or somebody will need something from me. And the moment I get distracted, I lose my momentum. And then, so, but Lavender did this really great series called Get Your Life Together. And she did a challenge for other people to do it. Well, I decided that instead of doing the Get Your Life Together, because although I'm getting my life together, so to speak, because this is my depth year, I thought maybe instead of doing that, I could actually do something more like simplifying my life. So I took a number of sections, I wrote them out. So I'm going to be doing things like I want to seriously simplify my life. And I picked time and sleep. So now that I slept for all those hours and I got up early this morning, this week is my week. It's the first week. So I'm going to start doing the updates on Wednesday. So this Wednesday, I will do hey, this is what I'm doing. And next Wednesday, on the next Wednesday, I'll update you. So then the next thing is going to be money. I'm going to try to do some kind of, like I said, my brother's going to start paying me money for the shed. So I want to save up some money. We're trying to get some bills paid off too. A couple of things I owe that I want to get paid off. And so I'm going to start with the few things that I owe. And then once those get paid off, all the rest of the money is going put up, because my laptop that I got for my birthday last year is great for writing, but it has not got enough oomph, nowhere near enough oomph to even do editing of videos or anything, much less live videos. So I want to do some kind of budget. I'm going to do some research on budgeting and see about doing some things like that. And then I'm going to revisit that at the end of this series. And then the third week, inner stuff and mindfulness, anxiety, how I'm dealing with it. Being sick really worked on my anxiety, and it almost made me depressed. I got into depressed mode because I was overwhelmed with being sick. I couldn't do much of anything with pneumonia and everything else. And David would do dishes and stuff like that when he was off. He did some of the main stuff in the house, like doing the dishes and sweeping and stuff like that. But all of the things that I do, like on and off, like right now, I have the wash machine just quit. So when I'm done with this video, I'll take the clothes out of the wash machine and put them in the dryer. So a lot of that stuff that I do, kind of because I work from home, I can do a lot easier, but laundry piled up over the month that I was sick. I was sick for an entire month. If the doctor told me if I'd have waited just a couple more days with the pneumonia, I'd have ended up in the hospital. And that is in part because I was not taking proper care of myself. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I wasn't eating as healthy as I should have. I wasn't eating at least 2 or 3 meals a day and like eating healthy snacks in between. Some days I was lucky if I ate 2 meals. Like most of the time I would forget to eat. I'd eat a little tiny thing for breakfast, and then I'd go the whole day and not eat until dinner time. So I've got to get better about being mindful of how I spend my time and my energy, not forgetting things like eating lunch because I get in the zone and I get really busy. And then number 4, the 4th week, I'm going to do things like work and productivity. I want to start getting to the point where I have some videos batched and ready to kind of go out. I want to open a folder, get it ready, and that will be like 2 different folders: extra videos for YouTube, extra videos for Patreon, so that when I am having a bad day or a bad week, or when something happens like that, I have a couple of videos that I can put up. And I need to, like I said, be careful about my time and energy and things like that. You put yourself in hospital a few years ago with the same behavior. It is. And I didn't go to the doctor right away. And finally, my husband was like, "You're going." I'm like, "It's just a sinus infection and bronchitis." He said, "No, it's not. No, it's not." So he took me to the doctor, and sure enough, I had pneumonia. So the next one after work and productivity, the week 5 is going to be fun and self-care. Like some things as part of self-care that are fun things, like artist dates, just taking walks outside, because my goal this year, now that I'm feeling better, January to me is still part of 2018 because I was sick since December. So to me, February starts my new year, because I guess I'm in a weird place right now because January was just so off for me. So I want to start getting outside every day. So today I got out of the house. I drove my little self right on down to the mall, because that's where my eye doctor is, right next to there, and went to the eye doctor. And then I left there and I stopped by Walmart to pick up a couple of things, because I'm going to Aldi's tomorrow to do grocery shopping. Could I have done it all in the same day? Yes. But Aldi's was the opposite way, and the small Walmart is on my way. So I picked up the things that I know I can't get at Aldi's, and then an extra thing. David was like, "Can we get?" I was like, "Sure." So I picked up some of the juice. I got cranberry grape juice, 100% juice, not from concentrate, and I got peach mango B8, and that is, I think, from concentrate, but it tastes so good, y'all. So then the next week will be nutrition. So I'm going to start working on eating healthier and that kind of stuff. I want to plan out some of our meals, find some recipes. And when I get some extra money, once maybe the next time I get some Amazon affiliate money, there's this Keto for Beginners book that I would like to get. And then week 7 is going to be health and fitness. So health and fitness is, I haven't decided if I want to join a gym. I'm not a big gym person, but I am going to start walking. Like I said, I want to get outside every day. So today, so far, it has me with, how many steps, y'all? It's not good. Now that I want it to work, it's not going to work. Never mind. Oh, I've already got like 2,500 steps, and I didn't put the watch on because it was charging until about 11 or 12 o'clock. So I know I got a lot of steps in this morning because I was walking around. If you aren't a big gym person, you buys against the gym, started off long, quick walks and built up. Yeah. How is your boundary setting going? I'm still working on the boundaries. That's a work in progress. I think because I'm a giver and I'm a caretaker kind of person, but the Aquarian in me wants to, I have a hard time saying no. And then I get frustrated because then after a while, I end up feeling taken advantage of. I decided to, right now, with so much family stuff going on, I'm limiting my yeses, and I'm saying no more often. I'm probably still saying yes to certain things too often, but other things I'm actually doing a lot better at. And David and I had a long talk, and I'm setting hours for my work. And he's like, if you can't get everything done in like 8 hours, then you're overworking. You're working too much. So I decided that the best thing I could do is go ahead and set some hours. So my time this morning from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock was me time. That was morning pages and stretches and reading, kind of like the Miracle Morning, a lot of stuff from the Miracle Morning, because I am following that. I'm just not following it to the T. I'm doing some of my own thing that works better for me. I will eventually get to a point where I'm actually following a lot more of it, but I have to kind of start. I'm not starting like all in. I've been doing I've been doing it for a long while, and I found that certain things on certain mornings work better for me than other things, and then I'll switch it up kind of. So my meditation. I do better with meditating at night. I like, thanks. It's only like almost 6 o'clock in the evening here, so completely different time zone. Have a good night. Sleep well. I think for me, one of the things that works really well is I meditate a little when I'm stretching, and then I meditate in the evenings right before I go to bed. I do that. I like the meditating more in the evenings. Um, and then I have week 8 is going to be home, and week 9 is clutter. So I've kind of combined. I could have combined them, but I figured 2 weeks because I'm doing home and cluttering, like decluttering, and I'm reorganizing and straightening up and moving some furniture around and all. Um, Week 10 is personal relationships. Week 11 is the outside in the yard, because hopefully by the time we get to week 11, it will be March and April. And I want to start, we want to plant a garden in the backyard. So week 12 is travel, and 13 is other, because I'm sure I'll come up with something between now and then that, I need to work on to simplify, because it's not just about getting my life together. It's about simplifying things. And I want to really simplify things so that I'm not overthinking things so much. The less I have to choose from, the better. So when I am revamping some of my wardrobe, I have decided to get rid of a lot of stuff that I don't wear or that I don't like. And I was thinking about some of this, and I'm going to stick to black, dark blue, red, white, maybe some dark gray. Those are the colors that I wear the most. And some of the stuff that I have that's outdated, and things that don't fit, I'm getting rid of. I've gotten rid of a lot. So it'll less hectic to choose. What do I want to wear today? I wear jeans mostly. I have a few pair of dress pants, and I have a few skirts, and most of the stuff that I wear is jeans or capri pants, and then I wear skirts every once in a blue mood. But most of the time I wear boots, tennis shoes, or flip-flops. And my tennis shoes are either my running shoes or my Converse. And then I wear different kinds of boots, and mostly flip-flops or dress flip-flops, sandals. So I can't wait until the weather gets a little bit nicer. I was excited about having the boots, and I am excited about my boots. I love wearing my boots. So I get excited every season when it changes, because that means I get to something else, and I don't get bored. And then I think that's pretty much it. I'm redecorating. I haven't decided yet, because I'm going to have to take all of that stuff down right there. So I need to rearrange where those little red shelves are at. Going to go. I'm going to have to move those. And the coffee thing that my daughter gave me, I'm going to have to move that. Those tree things. So it's probably going to go along this wall or this wall up here. I haven't made up my mind. Because we're going to do wall-to-wall bookshelves back there, I think. That's my Valentine's present. And I say that because that is going to require for David and us to build them. So we're going to have to go to Lowe's and get some wood. We're going to have to measure the thing and make sure we get the planks of wood. They're probably going to be like 2x10s or 2x12s. Something like that. So anybody got any questions? I have thought about doing a Q&A, but the Q&As never work really well for me. And I think that might be because I don't send the thing out like on Twitter or Instagram. So I was thinking maybe I should do a post with a picture or something, do a journal page. Hey, I'm going to do a Q&A. Give me your questions and do that like for Twitter maybe too. I don't know. I'm just so happy to be back. I'm going to get back on a regular schedule. Friday is going to be a journal day. I might actually do a flip through of the journals since they've kind of changed, since I'm now doing daily journaling in the Hobonichi. And then this is sort of the everything kind of journal. I've got bullet journaling in it. I've got art journaling in it. I've got all kinds of journaling in it. It's going to sort of be the catch-all for everything. And then back here is my collections. And then the notebook that's on the other side of the ABEC and the Hobonichi is my ideas and notes and research and stuff. Do you diary text journal every day? No, not anymore. I used to. I do, well, actually I do a little. I have an A6 Hobonichi that I bought from one of my patrons at the end of last year for this year. And I do daily reflection journaling in that. I have a journal that is 4 morning pages, but it's not Dear Diary kind of text journaling. Dear Diary to me, text journaling would be like evening reflection journaling. Morning pages to me, what I do for morning pages is a brain dump. And it's in a completely different journal. I don't ever show that one. It's just me doing a bunch of vomiting on the page, words, all the thoughts that are in my head that I need to kind of organize before I start my day. And I don't do morning pages like Julia Cameron suggests anymore. I mean, I do sort of, but after I went through the Artist Way a couple of different times, I started realizing that what works for me in the morning is kind of like what Carrie Harling calls, or maybe it's the other lady. It's more like a mind sweep, like where you sweep away the cobwebs. It's kind of a combination of a brain dump and a mind sweep. I make a bunch of to-dos. Sometimes I handwrite out things. Emotional dumping for self-growth, to be specific. Only when I need it now. Only when I need it. And most of the time when I do that now, I watercolor over it and then I put collage over it. That was what was underneath here. When I have something on my mind, I do that. I don't like to dwell on the negative stuff. Somebody did a video, Sam Plans did a video, and then Bree from Documented Journey, and I want to say Art Journal Girl, they were talking about what Sam was saying from Sam Plans. And she has really bad, one of them, I think it was Sam Plans. She was talking about anxiety and depression, and how when you do a lot of emotional venting and journaling, you're rehashing everything. And then if you go back and read it, you're rehashing it more. So you're more in the negative space, more and more in the negative space. Whereas if you journal about the positive things, then, and you just kind of let go of the negative things. I'm not going to talk about that here, Jen. If you do some of that, it helps. For me, if I need to spill all of the stuff that's on my mind that is the deeper, darker, negative, anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff, I'll journal it all out. I don't read it. I watercolor over it, collage over it, and I'm done with it. Because I've learned that the more I hang on to stuff, the more I hang on to stuff. So I don't ever reread that stuff. I just get it all out. And when I'm done, I'm done. So for some of it, I mean, people do that kind of stuff all differently. If I really do need to get it out, though, I've got a journal that is called my, hey, I have a journal that in my head I think of as my bitch journal. And it's where I'm free to bitch about whatever I want to. And I do in that one. But that one, I haven't journaled in that one and I don't know how long. I am like four or five videos into your class on Skillshare, Leanne. And let me think. But yeah, I used to journal a lot more emotionally, like a lot more text journaling and a lot more venting and a lot more talking about my anxiety. Now, though, it's kind of like with the writing. Why I need to spend time doing things that help my anxiety. I need to, like, if I really need to get it out, like I said, I'll get it out and then I watercolor over it and then I collage over it. But most of the time, like for certain things, I do, I don't know, I find something to work like where I'm physically doing things that will help me work through my anxiety. Like I'll use a lot of symbolism. I've been doing a lot more collage stuff. I've been doing a lot more art that is on watercolor paper where I work through abstractly my feelings instead of words. Because like for videos with writing, if I'm talking about writing a whole lot and I'm not actually doing something for my writing, then that time I could be talking about writing. I could actually be working on my novel or my outline for my novel. So I don't do a lot of those videos anymore. I'd rather spend my time more productively. And with the anxiety, I think Sam Plans has a kind of a good idea, and for some people it works really well because you're not concentrating and on the negative, you're actually concentrating more on the positive. But I still every now and again find myself needing to just dump it all out, like some of the negative, if there's a lot of things plaguing me. And sometimes what I find that works really good for me is to just get a scratch piece of paper, write down, like in a list form, all the things that are bugging me. Like with my anxiety, like when I was sick, I did it. And I wrote down, can't make videos, can't work for more than an hour at a time. When I was starting to try to get back into working, can't do, and I was getting mad because there were all these things that I could not do. And when I think of, what do you mean you can't? You can if you want to. You can do or don't. You do or you don't do. You try, and you do it and you keep getting better at it, or, you will or you won't, you do or you don't. But being sick, it's not quite the same thing. So I was being really, really hard on myself while I was sick, and I was feeling really guilty about content. I was feeling really guilty about not being able to do certain things. But it also made me realize how very important it is to take time for yourself, to pay attention to what you're doing, and to sort of get some batch work done. I don't film ahead is the problem. When I don't do a whole lot of filming ahead because I journal chronologically. So when I'm doing journaling, I'm doing it right then and there for like that day or the day before. So it's usually pretty much all right in there. Now I could do some watercolor scenes, like I could do I can watercolor a rose, and I could do that kind of video where I do that because that's not my actual daily journaling. It's art. I do art and it doesn't have to be chronological, but normally I'm filming it when I'm doing it. So I didn't have any extra content to put up because that's not how I journal. Normally I don't, but it made me realize how much I do need to get outside of my comfort zone with journaling and with art and with trying different things. It's made me realize that I'm getting better at a lot of things, but I have gotten into a bad habit of just kind of getting things done. And it was taking some of the joy out of it. So I'm slowing down. When I was doing one of the roses, I took a great deal of time to draw it and it looked really good. But then when I watercolored it for February, when I watercolored it, I didn't have the heat gun next to me and I was filming it. And you know what happened? I ended up adding way too much watercolor. When I was editing it, I realized where I made my mistakes. I added way too much watercolor and I should have let it dry and then added a layer and then let it dry and then added a layer and then let it dry. But I was impatient. I didn't feel good. I was trying to get back into the swing of things. And when I was editing it, I saw it. I was like, oh, bad artist. um, like Victor will tell me sometimes, he's like, ooh, bad Mimi, mean Mimi. Um, so I, I realized some things while I was sick that need to change. So that's one of the reasons why I did the little bit of collage right here, and it says a different way, because there's a different way for me to do things. I don't have to do things the way that I've been doing things just because that's how I've been doing things. I can change things up and I can alternate between daily document, illustrate my life, and adding certain things, whether it's the Hobonichi or my everything Omni journal, whatever people want to call it, because it's got all of it in it. Or I can do some art on some watercolor paper and practice my own art. That's one of the things I want to do, is try some different things. I am not good at collage, so I have been trying to do more collage kind of stuff, which is why I'm watching a certain somebody's videos on Skillshare, because I want to get better at collage. It's not something I'm comfortable with, and I don't have a lot of magazines or a lot of collage bits. I use everyday ephemera mostly for my collage, but I do happen to have quite a bit of scrapbook paper, and I do happen to have some other things that I can use. And I thought, well, this is a good chance for me to practice and to try. I mean, how bad could it be? I mean, it can be pretty bad, or it might actually be pretty decent. And at least if it's pretty bad, then I know what the heck I did wrong and I can get better at the next one. I just want to get better. I want to start writing more. And so I don't know. I hate trolls, but I think with some of it, it comes with practice. And other than little pieces of collage work, sometimes from daily ephemera stuff that I get, like a map or a receipt or a tag or something like that, that's real life, everyday ephemera. I don't usually put a lot of collage in my journals. But I'm doing some different things and I'm excited about it. And I'm back in the other journal, which I've moved things around, so I don't know where everything is right this minute. I'm back in my B6 that I made myself, and that's more of my sketch journal. So I get a chance to kind of do a bunch of stuff. Like I'm going to maybe add a piece of fabric, and I'm going to sew in some pockets, and I added in a glassine pocket, and I'm doing things, and I'm adding collage over stuff that was personal, emotional journaling, because sometimes, no matter how much we tell ourselves, this or that or the other, and it's not personal. Sometimes daily life, especially when you're dealing with social media, it's really hard sometimes when you see posts, and people make rude comments or different things like that. They affect you, and there's been a lot of stuff going on in social media and in the news and everywhere. And I read something and it really affected me, and I wrote about it. And because my journal is on public display, and because I don't reread things like that, not that kind of stuff, um, I put collage over it. Like sometimes it's hard when you are trying to get back into things. Like I was feeling a bit like an imposter after being sick for so long and trying to get back into things. I got a little bit of some anxiety over getting back into journaling. Like, I was like feeling some of that. I'm not really an artist. I'm not really a writer. That whole where you feel like you're not really, no matter how creative you are and no matter how much better you are now or how much you've been practicing, and you could see improvement in some areas and then you see other areas where you kind of neglected. I'm like, oh, I went through a little bit the other day, at the end of last week, where I was feeling just really yuck. It was a case of self-doubt and uh, fear, that, feeling a bit like an imposter, um, because I had wanted to get a video done. I wanted to get a video up on YouTube and I wanted to get another video up on Patreon, and I wasn't able to get to all of it because every day last week I got a little bit done. And then I had to take like a long nap because I was still exhausted from being sick. So I'm trying to pile it all together, trying to get everything, and it just was too much for me at that time. And I kind of realized I need to ease into this. I can do a live coffee chat, and then for tomorrow's video for Patreon, I'll do a coffee chat. I'll talk about some things. I'll do a coffee chat, and I have some vlog stuff to put in. And then I was like, and then I can ease back into, Wednesday, I'll talk about the simplifying my life, and I'll talk about what I'm doing to kind of get things organized to the point where I'm going to bed earlier. I'm shutting off social media, which is part of self-care. So a lot of things, even though I've sectioned them off into certain sections, they apply to each other as well. Everything's kind of working together. Hopefully by the end, it will all be, and I'm excited though, because I feel better physically, but the time off actually helped me mentally because it made me readjust my priorities. And I could only do certain things while I was ill. So I really, really had to pick the biggest priorities and go, okay, these are the top things. If I don't get anything else done, I got this done. Even if it was just one thing, I got this done. And that's what I've been doing, is getting one thing done and going, okay, so like on the Hobonichi pages, I'm not using the top 5 things anymore, but I could. And my top 5 things would be, I'd have at least one home thing, one personal thing, one work thing, one social media thing, that kind of thing. And if I get them all done, great. But if I don't, that very top thing is going to be the big thing I need to get done. And I'm trying to do one thing in each of those kind of categories every day. And then if I get extra things done, great. But I'm not beating myself up. And that was what I needed to do, and get some of that out in the journal, because I was beating myself up over being sick. I was beating myself up over not measuring up to this idea that I had in my head, and not measuring up with, other people that you see that are doing some of the same things that you're doing. Well, some of those people have been doing a lot longer than I have. Some of those people actually have more experience with social media and videography, and I don't even know how to use Photoshop. So some of that kind of stuff. So instead of beating myself up, I decided, you know what? I'm going to take some of my downtime and I'm going to watch a video on how to use Photoshop Elements, because that's the version I have. And I'll make a video about how I'm learning about it. Maybe. I'm going to do a video about what I want to do for the month of February, what some of my goals are for February. So for February, like I'd like to get outside every single day. even if it's raining. I have to be careful about that though, since I just got over pneumonia. So I'm hoping it won't rain too much in February. But if it is raining too bad, like if it's raining and I don't feel well enough, I will do my walk inside. But I really do want to get outside every day. And even if it's just to take the umbrella to go check the mail, on the days when it's like pouring or whatever, I want to get outside every single day. So I may not be able to walk in the rain but I can at least go out and check the mail or something like that. Um, I'm starting with the smaller steps. Like I was gung ho right before I got sick. I was gung ho about all these goals. And now I've realized that some of what I thought was important isn't really all that important. Um, Not in the larger scheme of things. Like some of it will happen organically. And if it doesn't happen organically, then it's okay. Right now, I'm concentrating on getting out of my comfort zone more. I'm concentrating on journaling and creating art every day, trying to write every day for at least 30 minutes to an hour. I finally figured out the name for my novel. I'm so excited. I'm really excited because this room is uh, kind of coming together, at least for me, because I've got a really good idea of how the setup is really going to work organic. I want to be efficient. I don't want to have to like stand or lean or a certain way in order to get like a live video done or my filming done or whatever. Um, and I've been working on my technology skills, like I said, trying to figure out like I'm getting better at editing videos. Now, once I kind of figure out some of that a little bit more, I'm going to start worrying about how I film videos so I can film better videos, which will mean less editing. And then I can do pretty decent vlogs. I want to start doing a little bit more vlogging. And I definitely want to start doing more blogging. Um, and get more on the ball with my website and my blog. So that's one of my goals. Like I don't know, I feel better, I feel more refreshed um, mentally and physically. I'm starting to kind of come around. Like I said, yesterday I slept for like 14 hours. My body still needed it because I'm still kind of recuperating. So I thought this week I'll ease into things. So the videos, other than this one, might be a little bit shorter, but they'll at least be here and I am being accountable and going, okay, I may not be able to make like 20, 30-minute coffee chats where I talk to you, but hey, we can do a live video and we can kind of chat and I can kind of update you on what's going on. And then for anybody who's interested. Um, and then on Friday, I can do some journal. I'll have a journal video. And then on Wednesday, I'll talk some more about my depth year and simplifying my life. And then I thought maybe next week, you know, kind of do the same thing. Have Mondays. Maybe I'll change the time for the coffee chat next Monday, since there are people from Europe who watch and I haven't done one in the morning. Maybe next week I'll do a coffee chat around, I don't know, around 11, in the morning or so. Next Monday. That would be a good time for a lot of people because it'd be like more like 4 o'clock in the afternoon or so for people. So that might work better. So those are some of the things I've been thinking about. Anybody got any questions? Because I've been on here for over an hour and I need to warm up dinner. No? I know there's a little bit of a lag. Okay, I don't see any questions, and people have already started to leave. So I'm gonna go. I have some, thanks. We're going to have, I already have the potato salad made. We've got to cook the green beans, and I have leftover baked chicken. So I'm going to, if y'all have anything you'd like me to cover, or if you have any questions when you're watching this in the replay or whatever, you can go to the video once it's up on there. You can put them in the comments. I am going to do a journal flip. Maybe that's what I'll do for Friday, is I'll do a journal flip for y'all, and I'll show you the two journals and how they're changing. And then, because yeah, that might work pretty well, because I'm going to do I'll already have it out on Thursday, because for Thursday's video for Patreon, because they're going to get a couple of different journal with me kind of videos. So, well, little short videos combined into one video. So y'all have a great one, and I will see y'all again real soon, and bye y'all.